Hello, welcome to Triggered Care. I'm Alex. I haven't made a video in a while. My child was out of town, and I really struggle with that and find it difficult to do anything other than despair. But he's back. He's been back for a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit better. So I figured I'd make a video because so much has been on my mind about a lot of different things. And maybe this is a helpful video. Maybe this is just a vent video. I don't know. I'm just going to try to organize my thoughts a bit, and hopefully something resonates with some people. I feel confused a lot of the time. I have been depersonalized and derealized, that's a word, suffering from derealization for a while now. And what I mean when I say that is I've been in like a dreamlike state where I'm still waking up and I'm going to my job and I'm doing my responsibilities, but everything feels like a dream. And I feel like part of that is we are bombarded with intense news all the time. So many traumatic things have happened in the last several months alone that is overwhelming and is really hard to process. And we've been in this funk for a long while, but it feels like it's just relentlessly nonstop now. I mean, before the pandemic, before the riots, before all this stuff happened, there was still like mass shootings and police brutality, which was brought up, and sometimes there'd be like a riot here or there or a protest here and there about it, but it wasn't on like a national scale like it is now. Just checking in with people it's hard and it's good at the same time, where I get that validation of like, you're overwhelmed too. You feel scared too. You feel a lot of the same things that I'm feeling right now, which is anger and frustration and being terrified at the future and wondering how to keep the children safe and all this stuff, right? Something that I feel like should be addressed is the changes in the brain when it's being traumatized, because I feel like with everyone getting traumatized at once on a huge scale like it is, like we have it now, there's going to be a number of different reactions, but all the reactions are normal given the circumstances. And I think it's really healthy to recognize what's happening, no matter what the person like reaction is, anger, sadness, numbness, whatever that individual's reaction is, it's all stemming from the same part of our brains that are going, you know what, I can't long-term plan anymore. I can't think about long-term consequences. I need to live day by day. And that will change a way a person acts quite a bit, so if they don't have the capability or the focus to think about more than just a day at a time, that dramatically changes a person's decision making. And the thing is for those of us with complex trauma from our childhoods, we have an advantage here. We have been dealing with that brain dysfunction since childhood. We've gotten used to it. We have learned how to plan through that and being like, you know what, I know that I just want to live day by day. And for me personally, that meant that, like, especially my early college years, instant gratification for whatever it was, constant searching out numbing coping mechanisms, constantly just getting the bare minimum needs met for myself to push away my trauma and to get relief from it. And I've been in that mindset for so long now that I've developed coping skills of grounding myself and being like, all right, I know that I just want to say F it to everything, but I also know that I can't live like that. That's not maintainable. I will die if I keep living like that, because things just fall apart when you can't plan out for the future. And learning how to do that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of experience, a first-hand experience of being like, you know, I want to just self-gratify all the time, but I've learned that I can't do that. I'm making a conscious choice now, even in that traumatized mindset. I'm making the conscious decision to work towards my future, to work towards my family's future, to work and to help all the people that I can through that. Because if you're inexperienced in trauma, there's not a lot of control that you can feel for yourself, for your decisions. There's just not. You don't have the experience in that to be able to push through your trauma response to be like, this is actually what I want to do for the good of long-term results. It's just I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you have to be very, very self-aware. You have to be knowledgeable about what's going on in your mind to be able to work through that without going to your survival brain. And everyone's survival brain is going to be slightly different. Some people are going to go to numbing techniques and mechanisms because they can't handle what's going on. Some people are going to get angry and start yelling at everybody in their path, like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're the reason why this is all happening. Some people are going to isolate and get really quiet and just be like, you know what, I can't handle anything that's going on out here. And this is where us trauma survivors need to step up. Because, yes, we have felt like outsiders and we have felt like broken people. For most of our lives, we have felt broken and like we don't fit in and that people can't understand us. Right now, though, they're going to start to be able to understand us. And this is why we need to speak up about our experiences for validation, for advice, for helping people figure out how they can manage through the traumatic things going on. Because we've had to manage through traumatic things going on without mass validation forever. We've been stigmatized and made fun of for having mental disorders. We've been talked down to. And we know how much that sucks. We know how much that makes us feel worse. It makes our mental state worse. And the sad thing is, some people's reactions to this trauma going on will be denial, and it will be scapegoating, and it will still be making fun of people who are reacting differently than them, and people with mental disorders that they're going to try to scapegoat or use to feel better about themselves. Like, yeah, I might be stressed out or I might be doing silly things, but at least I'm not like that guy. And now is the time for us to share our wisdom and share our perspectives and to be like, hey, first of all, everyone, American people, you're reacting normally to an abnormal situation. You're not weird and you're not weak. What's important to think about right now is your mental health and the people around you, how their mental health is doing. And we need to come together at this point And we need to have good, deep discussions about the pain that we've seen in our lifetime and how we manage to make decisions and what sort of decisions we make and how that affects us and how that affects other people in our lives. So that's been one thing on my mind, is trauma survivors sharing their wealth of wisdom with their neighbors, with their friends, with everyone. Because right now everyone's going through trauma and everyone needs help. We all need help. We all need support. And, you know, growing up in my family, I was living with 4 of my sisters and my mom, my stepdad. And we would experience trauma as a group sometimes. Say a pet died, or crazy accidents would happen, or a serious injury of a family member, or a suicide attempt. Something like this would happen. And I would naturally shove my tears down my throat and take care of my sisters and take care of whatever needed to be taken care of, because I knew that my sisters needed me. I knew that they needed love. I knew that everybody needed that person to just stay level-headed and be reassuring everything will be okay. Everything is going to make it through okay. Even if I didn't believe it myself, even if I was having an internal panic attack of like, nothing's going to be okay, how could this happen? On the outside, I would just naturally get to that state of like, okay, come on girls, let's go play, let's distract, let's joke, let's make it through this and try to talk about what we can in the ways that we can. And part of me loves that job of staying level-headed when nobody else can. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why my brain is just like, yeah, that is my plane of existence right there. To just see fires everywhere and to be like, all right, this is okay. These people are in charge of putting out the fires. These people are here. Now all the children and everybody who can't handle it, come to me and I will talk to you and it will be okay. Maybe part of it is I really like dark humor, and that's the one spot where you can have a lot of dark humor and people find you funny. I don't know. However, I'm getting off topic. I don't even know what the topic is necessarily. Because like I said, I've been in a dreamlike state myself. I want to encourage people to talk to each other and to share their experiences with each other. And even if you're not a complex trauma survivor, your experiences are valid and your experiences are needed as well. Like, this isn't just everybody who's had a crazy childhood gets to talk, but just sharing our life stories with one another and forming that tight-knit community is what's going to save us the most during this time. So those are just some of my thoughts. You know, trying to stay sane, just working a lot. I'm working a lot, and so that's helped a bit, just keep me busy. But that's about it. I don't really know. So yeah, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. I hope everybody's doing all right. Feel free to share your stories in the comments, or even to record a video and put that link in the comments. I would love to watch other people's stories and to hear about my viewers and the awesome community that we got going on here. I really appreciate you all, and I just look forward to great conversations happening throughout this really hard time that we're all going through.